right, folks, we appreciate all of you guys checking us out on today. Hottest show on the streets. Number one forum for Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Continue tapping the like button, giving us that thumbs up right there, liking the show, hitting that subscribe button. But we wrap things up, John, with this information here. Texas and Oklahoma joining the SEC in 2024. Not this season, but next season, when the SEC becomes a division-less conference. And for Texas and Oklahoma, both teams will play against SEC teams this season, kind of getting a feel for it in the last year at the Big 12. But they will both officially join the Southeastern Conference as of next season. And the big question in all of this is, how will the additions of Texas and Oklahoma make Alabama better? How will they make the Crimson Tide better? How will they sharpen the Crimson Tide? Like, how can the Crimson Tide grow to another sort of upper echelon, if you will, with the additions of Texas and Oklahoma? And for me, I looked at three things here, John. And I looked at recruiting, I looked at more competitive matchups or more consistent competitive matchups, and then I also looked at the coaching sort of firepower that this would provide here in terms of what Texas and Oklahoma will do and what they can bring to help Alabama be even better here in terms of a football program. So first and foremost, we look at this from a recruiting standpoint. Alabama has already gone into Texas and taken a lot of the big-time talent out of Texas, and this was Texas in the Big 12. But now with Texas in the SEC, this has Nick Saban even more so ready to go into the rich, Lone Star, All State and get even more 5 stars, get even more premier players, get even more guys that fit the Alabama culture out of Texas. What this also does is it opens up Coach Saban to Oklahoma as well, recruiting guys from that state. But I think the last player that Alabama recruited from the state of Oklahoma was Josh Jacobs in the 2016 class, if I'm not mistaken. And that was due to Jacobs came in late in the recruiting process, and it was Burton Burns that actually convinced Nick Saban, hey, man, get on this plane and come see this Jacobs kid. And they go up to Tulsa, Oklahoma. They see Josh Jacobs, who's regarded as only a 3-star, and we all know what happened. He became way better than what his star rating was. So this would open up Alabama more to recruiting in Oklahoma, getting the top talent out of there, as well as continue to go into Texas and get the top talent out of there, even though Steve Sarkisian is going to try to lock in this wall here and trying to keep the talent in Texas at home. But that's number one. Number two, the consistent competitive matchups will make Bama even better. Because what do we want here as consumers of Bama football? More competitive games, more fun matchups, more games that have us on the edge of our seat, more attention-grabbing things. And Texas and Oklahoma will provide Alabama with that. Because you look at it, Texas with Steve Sarkisian, that's going to be a fun matchup for years to come, right? It's going to be, at what point does Sark beat Nick Saban? That's going to be a question, right? You have Kirby Smart's got to win over Nick Saban. Jimbo Fisher's got to win over Nick Saban. You go to Brian Kelly's now got to win over Nick Saban. So now people are going to be talking about, when does Steve Sarkisian get his win over Nick Saban? When will this happen for Sark? Sark's got the offense over there. The defense is going to be improved. When is Sark going to get his win? So Bama, Texas, that's going to be a consistently fun matchup, home and home, for years to come. Now, Oklahoma and Bama, 2024, that's going to be an intriguing game because you're going to have two defensive minds, two of the best defensive minds in football going at each other, and Nick Saban and Brent Venables. That's going to be fun. Oklahoma's going to be better, both offensively and defensively. You got to travel to Norman. So that crowd, that environment, that's going to be different there. It'll be very interesting there. So Brent Venables, Nick Saban, 2024. That's going to be intriguing, but that's also going to be a compelling, competitive matchup, and that's what U.S. fans want to see. And so last but not least here, you got the coaching, firepower here. That's going to make this fun, and that's going to make Alabama better. You look at with Texas, look at all the guys that Sarkisian's got on his staff. He's got Kyle Flood on his staff. He's got Jeff Banks on his staff. He's got Bo Davis on his staff. So Steve Sarkisian, he's got some heavy hitters there on his staff. You look at Brent Venables, he's got guys on his staff that are very good, including one, Jeff Levy, running that offense over there. So the coaching firepower for Texas, the coaching firepower for Oklahoma, it's a chess match. It's iron sharpening iron. That's going to be fun to watch right there. Because of Alabama, with Nick Saban, you've got Tommy Rees, and you've got Kevin Steele, and you've got Shavaris Robinson, and you've got Eric Wolford, and you've got Holman Wiggins, and you've got Joe Cox, and Coleman Hutzler, and Robert Banga. So you got firepower here on every end. So recruiting, consistent competitive matchups, and coaching firepower, the three reasons why I see Texas and Oklahoma making Alabama better here as when they join the SEC in 2024 and when they become a part of the SEC and when we see these matchups on the field here for years to come.